friends, it's Jamie from Play to Learn Preschool. Happy Monday. Thanks for joining me on Facebook Live this afternoon. I'm glad you're here. I thought this afternoon that I would give you a little peek into our new dramatic play setup. In our classroom, everything is organized into centers, and our dramatic play center is absolutely one of our favorites. The students play there almost every day, all of them. And for the most part, it's set up as a kitchen, a home living area with dress-up clothes and a refrigerator full of food and a table. The students play house there, and moms and dads. And for most of the month, it is just that. It's just that home living kitchen. But for a week or two each month, we like to change it out into something a little bit new or exciting for them. I'm sorry, I'm sitting right next to our guinea pig, and can you hear her? As soon as I start talking, she starts making noise. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay, anyway, I might have to, hold on one second, watch. Sorry, I have to take her water bottle off for just a minute so that you can hear me. Okay, so for a week or two each month, we change it to something exciting. We start with something really simple, like at the beginning of the year, we had it just as a birthday party. I just put out a little birthday cake and birthday hats, and they got to pretend like they were having a birthday party. You might remember last month we were learning about bears, and so we had it set up as a vet, like a teddy bear urgent care, and they all brought their sick teddy bears from home, and we had out doctor coats and stethoscopes and an x-ray center on our light table so that they could pretend like they were taking care of their teddy bears. So every month it's something new. It's absolutely my favorite area to plan, which reflects, I guess, in the fact that I like to really do a lot of cool things over there. It's my favorite area to play in with the students, and I really think it's one of the best places in our classroom for them to practice their social skills, their language skills. We incorporate a lot of literacy, writing, and reading at the center at the dramatic play area, as well as math concepts. And so I'm gonna share it with you now. I'm by myself this afternoon, except for this noisy guinea pig, so I will try to make sure that the camera is not too crazy, but you can see right behind me that I always try to do some kind of like a centerpiece or like a big, not big necessarily, but something really special in the area to make it look different. In the doctor's office, of course, it's like the exam tables and the x-ray center that makes it look really different. When we did the airport, I had the table with the cockpit, with all the controls that made it look really different. And here at the pizza parlor, it's this brick oven pizza, this brick pizza oven. It is just our regular storefront, like piece of furniture. And I'll show you a close-up, but it's brick wrapping paper that you can get at the craft store near the poster board aisle. And it's just a roll. You might remember if you watched the airport one, we used a big roll of cloud wrapping paper on the wall to make it look like they were up in the sky. And this is the same thing. It's just a roll of wrapping paper that looks like bricks, and we just lined the inside of that furniture. You could also just get a box from Home Depot, like a big cardboard box for $2 or whatever, and just line the inside of it, and I'll give you a close-up. But that's our centerpiece of the pizzeria, is the brick oven. So I'm going to try to kind of like manage. Hey, Alicia, how exciting. You can start setting up some fun stuff for your little guy soon, right? He's what, 2 weeks old? Okay, so I'm gonna kind of turn the camera around so that you can see all of the different areas of the pizzeria. And if you have any questions about it, or if I don't explain anything accurately, just leave me a comment and I'll try to get to your questions. Okay, so let me give you a full shot of the pizza dramatic play area, and then I'll kind of show you the different areas. Here goes, let's see if I can figure this out without Gemma. It's so much easier and cheesier. Okay, all right, so here is the pizzeria. And like I said, the centerpiece part is just that brick oven, and we've covered the tables with some just plastic red and white plastic tablecloths just to make it look exciting. We always have a spot for the students to get a Roleplay name tag. So here at the pizza parlor, they could be the chef, they could be the delivery driver, the manager, the customer, the waitress. And like I said, we have, I think two tables, and then we have this entry area where they can ask to be seated. So we put the menus here, And I'll give you a peek at those. Let's see. So the menus that I made to go with the pizza set have really good visuals, really good pictures, so they can start to do some pre-reading, so they can choose if they're going to order a slice or a whole pizza, and the toppings that they want on their pizza, as well as the seasonings. And the waiter or waitress can use the order form, which matches the pizza menu exactly, and they just circle the whatever the person's ordering. Sometimes we have a hard time not having enough customers, so I always take phone orders and they pretend to call on the phone. And then let's see, what should I start with? I'll start over here with the pizza oven. How awesome is this? So the inside is, like I said, just covered in wrapping paper. And then we set up like a little place for them to cook the pizzas. So these are LED battery operated tea lights. And so when the kids come in the morning, they just turn the fire on, they say, to make it look like a fire. But they were like $4 for $1 or something at the dollar store. And this is a cooling rack, just cooking rack, and a brick from our block center, and just some tissue paper to make it look, you know, like a fire. And then underneath we have 3 Melissa and Doug pizza parlor sets. It comes with a box, and that pizza pan comes as part of it. And then we put some oven mitts there because you don't want to burn your hands, and some timers. And what the students do when they're making the pizzas is they get one of those pizza pans, and then they can add a crust. If they want to roll it out, they can. We always label our dramatic play area so that there's double labels. There's a label on the spot where it goes, and then, as you can imagine, this is going to be empty right as soon as they start playing with it. And then we label the basket. So when all the crusts are spread all over the room, or the baskets around the room, then we know that the crusts go in the basket and the basket goes in the spot. So we have some rolling pins. You have to add a sauce and some little felt cheese. And these are all pieces, I guess I should make one. These are all pieces from the Melissa and Doug pizza parlor set. And so they just put, oops, sorry, the camera's doing a weird thing. So they just put the crust down. They can make a whole pizza or just a slice. I wonder if I can flip this around. Let's see if I can flip. Let's see if this will work. So they've got the, you know, the crust or the pizza, whatever, if they're making the whole thing, and then they add a sauce, and they sprinkle on some cheese, and then they can put on their toppings. And so I don't know if this is gonna be better or worse. I think I gotta flip it back around. So then in these baskets, there we go, we have all of the toppings for the pizza. And again, we always double label everything. So once on the shelf and once in the basket. So if the stuff all gets dumped out, which it will, they can find the right place to put. So there's peppers, olives, tomatoes, broccoli, pepperonis, and mushrooms. And this is our sink, you know, from our kitchen. And we just put a piece of wood on top of it so that we can use it as a counter space. We've got paper plates and napkins and cups, and then they can put the seasonings on. These are from Melissa and Doug as well. I should leave a link for those. Aren't they cute? They're these like plastic little beads with no lid or no holes on the top. So then they can put their seasonings, and then they just deliver the pizza to the table that the person is sitting at, or they can pretend like they're delivering it, you know, to somebody around the room. So let me go and sit back down and see if I can answer some of your questions. I love those Melissa and Doug food sets. They are so well made. They really stand up, you know, to a lot of wear and tear and play. We did the sandwich one in October. I have this pizza one. We have a taco one, which I just heard is discontinued, but I've got a really cool taco and burrito set. We've got the pancake set, and it's just a really fun way for the students to kind of act out different restaurant scenes. So that is our, I think I showed you everything. That is our pizza parlor set. If you don't have quite as big of a space, or you only have one of the pizza sets, or maybe you don't have any, definitely use some of these ideas and make them work for your own space. I a lot of times get people who say, that's great, but I've got a tiny space. Well, if you have a tiny space, then you make do with what you have. Maybe only put out 3 toppings and have a smaller box, you know, for the pizza oven, or just use your regular kitchen. You don't have to have a huge spot. And if you don't have any pizza, the pizza set, you could always just cut out pieces of felt. You can get sheets of felt at the craft store for like, I don't know, a couple, 50 cents or 2 for $1 something. They're pretty cheap. And just cut out, triangles for the crust, brown ones, and red triangles for the sauce. You can get really creative with it. So I hope that will kind of give you some ideas for how to set up your own pizza parlor set, or just inspire you to do something new and exciting in your dramatic play area. We always find that when our students start to kind of get into a rut, maybe they're not playing in the center purposefully is the word I like to use, the right way. You know what I mean? They're dumping things or, just not playing in a purposeful manner. Then when we switch it up, then they kind of like snap right back into it. So if you ever find that your students are either avoiding the area or they're dumping toys, they're just not playing, purposefully is, I guess, the right word, or the right adjective. Try changing it up. It doesn't have to be with a complete turnaround, but even just adding some props to make pizzas is enough to get them started. So somebody was asking how we get, how we introduce it on the first day and how we model it. At this point in the year, my students are really used to this, so I just pass out the name tags at our morning circle time. Who wants to make a pizza? Who's hungry to order a pizza? And they kind of go over there and figure out the lay of the land on their own. At the beginning of the year, we have to do a lot more modeling. Like I'll say, I'm so hungry for pizza. Would anybody like to go to the pizza shop and order some pizza with me? And then Gemma will be over there and kind of like modeling how to make it, and I'll be modeling how to be a customer. But honestly, by this point in March, with our pre-K students, we don't really have to do that much. They see it and they're like, pizza? They get right to work. You'll be the customer. You'll be the waiter. You wash the dishes. You answer the phone. And they've kind of, at this point, negotiated all of those jobs and ideas amongst themselves. Lanisha, I left the link for the pizza supply and the labels and everything in the video description. And I'll go back. I forgot to put the spices, but I hope that gives you some good ideas. I hope you have a wonderful day playing and learning with your kids. And if you have more comments or questions, go ahead and leave them and I'll try to hop back on and answer. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you again next time. Bye, everybody.